Hello, my name is Mr. Manzke, and I'm going to go through the guided notes for Unit 1, Day 1, information about geometry. If you'll notice in the guided notes, there are several questions for you to answer. We're just going to take a look at the first question. If you take a look at the top here, when introduction to geometry, the word geometry itself is going to come from the Greek words ge, meaning earth, and materia, meaning measuring. The approach to geometry developed by the ancient Greeks have always been used for over 2,000 years as the basis of geometry. So the first question is, ancient Greeks are from what continent? They are from Europe. Okay, that was the part where, so if you had to fill in your answer here, you would fill in Europe right here. Okay. So just a quick FYI. All right, so we're going to look at the next part, which is draw an example of each term and use geometry notation. So when we talk about a point, okay, so again using the computer, we're going to insert a picture here, and the picture we're going to insert is a point. And if you think of a point, all you think of you're going to be drawing there is just a dot. Now the dot is pretty much any size or color. Traditionally it's dark color, and when you give an example, okay, so like if you're giving a picture of it, so this is what it would look like, and just to make sure you put a capital letter. Okay, so like for example, like point A. So if we make a reference to it, so the word point and then the letter A. So if I'm reading directions, that would be the notation we'd use. And then the picture would just be a dot with the capital letter. Okay, the next one is line. Now when you draw a line, so we're going to insert a line here. Okay, a line is going to have two arrows. So we're going to draw the picture first. And I'll make it darker. Now when you have a line, in some cases you will have points on it. Okay, so like for example, I'm going to put a point here, and I'll put a second point over here. Okay, so like if I were to call it line AB, okay, so we do the notation. Okay, so I'm referencing a line, and it has 2 points on it. A line has infinitely many points, but when you do the notation in your notes or in your homework, you would just put a small arrow on top of the letters. So we would be referencing. So now what we'd have to do is we have to label this. So again, you would have A and then B. Okay, so that would be the line AB. Now the third one is a plane. Now it's a two-dimensional shape. You have a lot of choices. Traditionally, when in your book, if you're talking about a shape that most geometry books would use, would be something in the terms of something like this. Again, there could be a variety of different ways of how you would do it. Okay, when you talk about the name of a plane, it's got to have at least 3 letters. You can use 4. Okay, so like for example here, we'll just call it plane Let's use different letters here. Plane, and then the letters D, E, F. Now remember, you can use 4 letters to describe its name. Just for notational purposes, when you're writing the name of or you're labeling the shape, you got D, and then here's E, and then here's F. Okay. All right, so this is page 1 of the notes. So when you're taking notes, just make sure you know the terms point, line, and plane. And then here a picture of 3 examples and the way you can write it. All right, so we're going to stop there. This is page 1, and if you're taking notes, make sure you go to page 2 to continue your note taking for day 1 of Unit 1. All right, thank you very much for watching. This is Mr. Manzke.